Hello guys, and welcome to Full Soap Timeline Hangout number 101. I hadn't expected to produce another one this year. In fact, I didn't think I'd be able to. I didn't think I was in a position to. I'll maybe explain that some point further down the line. This month, the number of entries, the total number of entries on the timeline topped 6,000. They're not all false allegations of rape, of course. There's false allegations of sexual assault, indecent assault, non-sexual crimes. There's a few genuine ones as well, and there are lots of publications and a few videos. There's a separate section on videos, which, in addition to the 6,000 plus entries, contains well over 100. Well, 100. There's 100 before this one. It'll be number 101, and there's a number of other videos on the same subject, similar subject. Right, as usual, please ignore the creaking desk. For the 6001, I'm going to simply go through my back files, which are voluminous, and just discuss various cases, articles, etc. I really do want to do another live hangout at some point, but with the shadow banning, it's just it isn't feasible. I mean, I maybe get 2 or 3 people to hang out, if that. My locals account is as good as dead. I'm not going to close it, but it's, you know, it's useless. I've now actually got 1 follower on Twitter, 1, since I went back to Twitter, or X as it's now called. Anyway, in no particular order, I'm going through my file with a list of links and various files in the directory, the relevant directory. One of the things the sexual grievance industry doesn't like is the scrutiny of mobile phone records of rape complainants and their social media and other things. Apparently we're supposed to treat them all as victims. So if a woman claims to have been raped maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, or 2 or 3 months ago, 2 or 3 years ago, the police are just supposed to say, well, okay, let's go and arrest the guy. There's been many cases of women who've been caught out by phone records, text records, texts, social media, and of course CCTV. But here's one, I'm sure they'll approve of this. This is from the BBC website 2 days ago. I'm not sure what that means. Yeah, I thought it was more than 2 days ago. Anyway, 2 days ago, when I'm recording this, Swindon man guilty of 2016 rape discovered on old phone. A man from Swindon has been found guilty of raping a woman in 2016 after footage was found on an old phone. It showed Carl Wallace, 38, of Brook Dean, having sexual intercourse with the victim while she was passed out and unresponsive. I mean, how did she get passed out and unresponsive? There's a quote here from Detective Constable Anna McCormack. I would like to praise the victim in this case for the courage and conviction to see this through. Without her, we would not have been able to seek justice. She urged other victims of sexual assault to come forward. Wonderful phrase again, come forward. Even if the offence took place some time ago, we understand it can be difficult. Yeah. So I'm sure the sexual grievance industry will realise that it's maybe not such a bad thing for the police to go through phone records and the like. Talking of old cases, I just found this, well, I found this a while back on my hard disk. This is from 2014. Operation Yewtree. I'll put the image on the video. If you have difficulty reading that, it says as follows. Abuse team gives credit to Dave Lee Travis jury. Slater and Gordon specialist abuse team who is represented a number of alleged victims of Dave Lee Travis has given credit to the jury for being so thorough and not being swayed by the earlier not guilty decision. All of them. The abuse team said the people who gave evidence before will feel a great deal of vindication from yesterday's verdict, which demonstrates that this was not about any difference in standards between generations. No, of course not. The jury accepted that David Lee Travis's actions amounted to sexual assaults and could not be construed as anything else. He was actually convicted of one sexual assault, one indecent assault. One of the victims, who represented Slater and Gordon, alleges extremely serious sexual abuse by Travis when she was a child. She was particularly vulnerable at the time, and the abuse has had lifelong consequences. She's a nutter. I have inside information on this. I was told that she has complained to the police and David Lee Travis denies the assault, but she's determined to pursue an action because she wants this man's actions to be brought to light and for him to answer for them. Yeah, this is complete garbage. I'll be careful what I say, but one woman accused him of rape years and years ago, and the police said no, and weren't having any of it. If they'd said that about all the other allegations, I'll put a link to the Operation Yewtree witch hunt. I mean, the way he was treated was absolutely disgraceful. He lost everything, well, except his wife, and he had to move to a smaller house. It's absolutely disgraceful, these witch hunts. Absolutely disgraceful. Especially when the police don't bother to investigate even more serious crimes. That's all I will say. That's all I say at the moment. Maybe at some point I will make a video about it. Earlier this month I added a case from 2021. March 2nd, 2021. Illegal immigrant Alma Duran is allegedly kidnapped from a Florida golf course where she works and raped, a particularly nasty aggravated rape. It would have been if it had happened, and there's an associated video report. But there's a bit more here which I haven't put on the timeline. This is from the Latin Times. Undocumented woman fakes own kidnapping, rape to gain US citizenship by Mary Adeline de la Cruz. De la Cruz being two words. July 20th, 2021. An undocumented Mexican national from Marion County has been nabbed by police on Thursday. Indian publications use that phrase a lot. Yeah. Daddy force rape gang nabbed. That sort of thing. Has been nabbed by police on Thursday after tricking police into reporting that she had been kidnapped and raped so she could lawfully remain in the United States. So, just to be better worded. Police charged Alma Duran, 54 or 52 if you read another report, of Summerfield with making a false report after telling authorities that a masked man had abducted her and raped her before abandoning her naked, leading police on an intense manhunt for the alleged assailant, according to Wesh. That's the link there. Wesh. What was that? Wesh. Have a look. See what Wesh is. Sorry, this content is not available in your region. Wesh.com. Deputies received a call from the Baseline Golf Course on SE 58th Avenue on March 2nd with reports that Duran, an employee of the business, had gone missing. Responding officers then arrived at the area to investigate and later found the alleged victim, Duran, who else, naked along the 8200 block of County Road 314 following alert from a motorist. Investigators transported the Mexican woman, and she's still Mexican then, to a local hospital for assessment. She reportedly told police through a translator she wants American citizenship. She can't speak English. Oh boy. that she'd been abducted by a masked person, presumably a masked man. She detailed how the assailant had knocked her unconscious from work before dragging her in a vehicle. The attacker then allegedly forced her to drink a liquid that tastes like beer and water. There must be a joke there about your local pub. And ultimately sexually assaulted her before throwing her naked on the side of the road. However, authorities noticed suspicious activities on Duran's phone records, after she logged more than 100 phone calls with a man just days before the reported attack. When quizzed by police about the calls, Duran reportedly confessed that they were having an affair for several years. If you see this face, this woman's face, I mean, this guy must be desperate, put it that way. The woman had initially maintained that she'd been kidnapped. We've been there before, but later changed her stories, plural, when confronted with the evidence regarding her lover, Luis Guerrero. Duran eventually admitted she'd not been kidnapped, noting that she ordered Guerrero to pick her up from work the morning she was allegedly abducted, according to an official statement from the Marion County Sheriff's Office. Police moved to invite the man for questioning, where he confirmed his sexual relationship with Duran. Oh, terrible. I mean, there's a bit more here. She reportedly came up with the idea of the crime after she was sighted of a driver without a licence. Presumably not the lawnmower she was using. Court records further show that in 2005 and 2018 the woman received citations of driving without a valid driver's licence, where she was adjudicated guilty both times. In 2005 she was cited for running a red light. Oh dear. There's more here. Seriously. And this one from Lincolnshire, Lincoln Online, lincolnonline.co.uk. Woman says Lincolnshire police officers are not taking a rape case seriously. A woman, this is June 17th. A woman says she has been denied justice. A woman says she's been denied by justice. Don't they have proofreaders? Oh, no. We've noticed you're using an ad blocker. Okay, I'll come out of AVG and go to Google Chrome. Right, here we go. I don't know why I'm in such a good mood tonight. A woman says she's been denied by justice after a tick box investigation by police into an historic rape. Historical. The woman, who's not being named for legal reasons, says she was raped by her doctor in the early 1990s and felt she was not believed after contacting Lincolnshire police. She was raped by the doctor in the 1990s when she goes to the police in 2023. She's now calling the force to conduct a thorough investigation and is hoping that by sharing her story that will encourage other abuse victims to pressure the police to act. Nutter. The woman, who's in her 50s, feels let down that police did not interview other possible witnesses, like the chaperone she had, along with the unsupportive attitudes of the detectives who did not keep in touch with her. She also says her recent experience with the force is very different from the support she received. Now, this is here it comes. The support she received from Norfolk Police when they investigated and prosecuted a relative for sexually abusing her as a child. The woman said there's been a huge difference between the two investigations. With childhood sexual abuse, they took that far more seriously. He was prosecuted and admitted it. I felt listened to. They came over and did the interview face to face. They came to my house and were fully responsive, fully supportive, and kept in touch with me. Now this begs the question, was she really sexually abused by this relative? Did he confess for whatever reason? The woman says that she feels that she'd been groomed by the doctor whilst she was a patient at the surgery. The doctor had offered to counsel her after she had been to regular last-of-the-day appointments due to the trauma of her childhood abuse. This woman is a total nutter. Total nutter. I don't have. There's nothing about the. We've only got a word for it that this relative was prosecuted. We don't know what he was convicted of. You know, might be just been touching her ass, which nowadays, I mean, it's very dangerous for men to even to do anything innocent. You know, anything can be misconstrued as sexual abuse or sexual harassment or sexual whatever. Total nutter. This one is absolutely. Oh, this is just beyond the pits. This one. Incest dad back behind bars after getting intimate with another daughter. They should put these dogs down loosely. An incest dad from Wiltshire is back behind bars. Robert Cole made contact with his estranged child, 20-year-old Amy Cole Martin. I haven't named her then. Before engaging in sexual activity with her on July 30th last year. Salisbury Crown Court that the police became aware following a report of rape, which was later found to be a false allegation made by his daughter. By her? A man who has sex with his own daughter should be guilty of rape. Yeah, I mean, this is just. Mr. Shellard, that's the prosecutor, said Cole's crime was remarkably similar to his previous offending. Yeah, well, sex acts tend to be similar. You know, he was charged for having sexual activity with a different daughter, 19-year-old Justine Henley. I'm surprised they haven't named them. The court was told that following 5 Cole. I mean, he continued, he's now in a stable relationship supported court by his current partner. I mean, what woman wants to be a partner of a man who, just absolutely, this is absolutely, this is sick, man. This is absolutely sick. At the other end of the scale, this is from Jersey Evening Post. No rape convictions in Ireland in 2021 and 2023. Work to improve the end-to-end criminal justice process is needed for rape investigations, a senior police officer said, after it was revealed there were no convictions during 2021 and 2022. During 2021 and 2022, a total of 113 rape allegations were made, but only 5 went to court. Of those, 1 prosecution was discontinued, while 4 were found not guilty at trial. A total of 32 allegations are still being investigated. So, no, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't believe any of these were rapes in a proper sense of the word. This is just. How many of them relate to alcohol? How many relate to alcohol? And once again, guys, stay away from drunk women. Right, let's look at some old stuff. This is from The Scotsman, January 18th, 1992, page 7. Bottom of the page. 2 men cleared of rape. 2 men cleared of club rape. 2 men were cleared yesterday of raping a young woman on a snooker table. That's impossible because there's no such thing as a snooker table. It's a billiards table. Why am I in such a good mood tonight? The jury at the High Court in Glasgow found the charge against Peter McGuigan, 28, and 22-year-old Andrew Douglas not proven. So weren't not guilty, were not proven. McGuigan of Valer Street, Cadder, and Douglas of Darkmuir Street, Ballonock, never heard of these places, both Glasgow, are denied raping 22-year-old Miss X at the RF Association Club in the city's West End on the 10th of May last year. During the trial, Miss X said she had met the men at a late night disco and agreed to go to a party at the club, but now she claims she was held against her will and raped repeatedly by both accused on the snooker table. McGuigan claimed that what happened was with the consent of Miss X, He said she agreed to play strip snooker. God. Where do they get these from? And clothing will be taken off as points were lost. Both men ended up naked as they played snooker, and then had sex with them on the snooker table. Just gross, man. Absolutely gross. I mean, she went back there with 2 men. Victim blaming? I'm not adding that to the timeline. No way I'm sorry, but no way I'm adding it. No way am I adding that to the timeline. Let's see what else we got here. Dr. Sex. That looks interesting. It's from this year. A doctor showed 197 photographs. A doctor showed 197 photos and videos of himself having sex with other women to a colleague he was romping with at his surgery, trying to be word. Thomas Plimmer was accused of sexual behaviour in a string of women at GP practice, including a vulnerable colleague over 2 years. It's amazing. They're always vulnerable, these women, aren't they? The hearing continues. Well, I think that does because that misconduct, definitely. I think it would probably be struck off. I'm not going to look at it now. It's just we've got here somebody called Casey. Rape jail sentence quashed. This is from the Evening Mail. I think it's from the Birmingham Evening Mail, May the 10th, 1988. Yeah, a Birmingham man jailed for 5 years for raping a former girlfriend was cleared by the Court of Appeal in London today. The appeal judges, with regret, quashed Vincent Casey's conviction as unsafe and unsatisfactory because of the inadequacy of the trial judge's legal directions to the jury. Casey, and his sentence set aside, was freed. There were gasps and applause from Mr. Casey's family in court as the decision was announced by Lord Justice Glidewell. The judge, sitting with Mr. Justice Hodgson and Mr. Justice Gatehouse, described our 21-year-old ex-girlfriend, a divorcee, 21 years old and divorced, living in Northfield, tearfully complained to a neighbour that Casey had raped her the night before. Casey told police she was sex mad and asked him for sex to compare his performance with that of a new boyfriend. Oh, God, Bennett. So she's divorced. She's got, oh, dear. She became angry after he told her that his new girlfriend was pregnant by him, he said. Bruises on legs. Lord Justice Glidewell said the only real support for the woman's story was evidence of bruises on her legs. The case called for very careful directions by the trial judge, Mr. Justice Anthony Lincoln, on the issue of corroborative evidence. Well, we're told we don't need corroboration, do we? Only a story. That's the position now. The jury did not get, said the appeal judge. Why the judge did not do it is idle to speculate. He may have felt that this issue was addressed. He may have felt this issue was adequately addressed with by the wording of these. This is a judge. He may have felt that this issue was adequately dealt with by counsel in their addresses to the jury. That may have been mine. But it was clear for the judge to make the issues entirely clear, said Lord Justice Glidewell. Regrettably, the conviction could not be allowed to stand. Yeah, I'm sure Mr. Casey regrets it enormously. I should delete that from that's the front page. Oh yeah, Evening Mail, late night final. I won't be adding that to the timeline. Norwich 2023. This is this is another one. I will be adding this to the timeline. No one convicted over UEA rape and sexual assault reports. July 3rd, that'll be this year. More than 30 rapes and serious sexual offences have been reported on Norwich University campus. Oh, that's what UEA is it? University of East Anglia. Yeah. Oh yeah. Says there were 29 reported rapes and serious sexual offences at the University of East Anglia between 2018 and 2022. Yeah. More than 30 rapes and serious sexual offences have been reported on. On Norwich University campuses, plural. Not one has led to a single successful prosecution, the figures have shown. Well, how is it not successful if people are acquitted, and they should have been? Men. In total, the 29 allegations reported to the University of East Anglia in that time period include 19 rapes, one involving an underage victim, and 10 serious sexual assaults, all but one on women. Experts say the true figures are likely to be significantly higher. Yeah, experts, yeah. The local rape crisis centre. It comes as campaigners said it was horrifying. There have been 320 reports of rape and 370 allegations of sexual assaults on university premises across the UK. Why have there been no convictions? Because these women are lying. And because they've been taking drugs and drinking and brainwashed by feminism. Daily Mirror, April Fool's Day 1977, page 9. I've got an idea this isn't an April Fool type article. Trial by scorn, rape victims hit out at police station ordeal, in quotation marks, by Rachel Hebditch. Police treatment of rape victims was condemned as contemptuous and insensitive yesterday. A victim's ordeal in the police station can be as distressing as a rape, says a report by Britain's only rape crisis centre. There's only one name there. So being questioned is as distressing as... No, I think I'll take the question myself, actually. The report accuses the police of acting with scorn and disbelief when a woman reports a rape. And it says that if a woman is not married, not middle class, not badly beaten, not a virgin, or a senior citizen, she is unlikely to get sympathetic treatment. Well, some women are more credible than others. That doesn't mean that a credible victim is telling the truth. And it doesn't mean that a woman of poor character, maybe a woman is lying. You know, I mean, what are they meant to do? Believe women? We've seen where that leads. Chairman of the London-based group, Dr. Mary-Jane Gething said, a few police act reasonably, but that does not excuse those who act very badly indeed. Well, I could agree with that, but on other matters. We have special doctors to deal with rape victims too. They're usually women. Yeah, there's actually an entry on the False Rape timeline from 1934, which points out there were literally hundreds of lady doctors in the Greater London area then, many of whom were on the list for police station examinations. I might have that to timeline, I don't know. So at that time there was only one rape crisis centre in Britain, and now there are too many. Well, one is one too many. There was a rape reported in on the beach at Newquay, I think. I wrote to the police. Well, what happened was that it was reported, a guy was arrested and the case was dropped, and the guy's named. He sounds to be an illegal immigrant or an immigrant, some sort of immigrant. I wrote to the police, freedom of information, and I got the usual bullshit response. Dear Mr. Barron, Devon and Cornwall Police, freedom of information, reference, we know actually rape. Oh yeah, Newquay on March the 12th. It's got my questions. Your request for information is now being considered. I'm also confirmed Devon and Cornwall Police holds the information you requested. I'm not obliged to supply it. Fuck you, pig. Fucking bullshit. You don't get this from the American police. But if anything, the American police release far too much information. And sometimes they convict the guy in public, in the court of public opinion. They go and say the person is guilty. Not necessarily in rape cases, but murders, fraud cases, everything it's too much. But the British version, the British police are just the total cunts. Stepdad acquitted of raping 11-year-old girl. Queensland. This is 2010. A man accused of sexually abusing his 11-year-old stepdaughter was acquitted in Bundaberg District Court yesterday. It took the jury of 7 women and 5 men a little more than 2 hours of deliberation to deliver a not guilty verdict after 3 days of evidence. No. Mr. Akins, who was a defendant, said the girl also never tried to leave the house when she'd been left alone with her stepfather. When a person has been subjected to that type of behaviour, be caught out so many times by not knowing when her mother had left the house, he said. Yeah, I mean, this is just... So where's the physical evidence? There'll be physical evidence, you know, I mean, you can't, you know, that has to be physical evidence for that sort of thing. I might add that to the timeline. Man is cleared of rape at pub. This is January 18, 1990 from Welsh News. I think this is Liverpool Post. Sean Limbert, the Clwyd man alleged to have pushed aside a disabled woman's wheelchair and raped her on the concrete floor of a dock pub toilet, was cleared by a jury at Mold Crown Court yesterday. He wept in the dock and held his head in his hands when the verdict was announced, after a 4-hour retirement by the jury of 5 women and 7 men. Limbert then admitted assaulting a policeman during an entirely separate incident. Judge Robin David said that normally he would impose a 3-month sentence for such an offence. However, in the circumstances, Limbert had been in custody since the incident, he would pass a prison sentence, and that would mean his immediate release. Limbert left the courtroom, 2 words. Limbert left the courtroom to be held by a member of his family, and would only say he was glad it was all over. It was alleged to have raped the woman in the pub toilet at Deeside. He denied it. He said that sex took place willingly and a kiss and cuddle in the toilet cubicle. Oh no. No, I'm sorry. I've got a thing about toilets, sex in toilets. You know, I've never had sex in a toilet. I've had sex in a graveyard, made love in a graveyard, and had sex in a car park, in the back seat of a car in Croydon, but never, not in a toilet. No, just no. That is not. That's not going there. Here's one from Wolverhampton. This is the Daily Mirror. I probably have this this time, right? The Attention Seekers. This is Daily Mirror, September 5th, 1990, page 19. Rape is every woman's nightmare, so why do so many women cry wolf? I might have actually I might have added, there's a story. It's about I think it's about a babysitter, isn't it? Yeah, the case history is one first name only. Sex victim was raped again by Samaritan. He gave lift to sobbing girl. Lies, damn lies. Newspaper headlines tell the story. Every genuine assault is a potential murder. Yeah. And every false allegation is a potential suicide. Manchester Metro News. False rape charges have ruined my life. They tend to do that. This is a bloke called Ian Woodhams from Timperley. Fought back tears as a jury at Manchester Crown Court returned not guilty verdict on charges of rape and indecent assault. He said he was relieved as a free man, but angry at charges ruined his life. Pages were decorated by trade, admitted he was baffled by and angry at the woman who accused him. He met her at Chequers nightclub in Altrincham and walked her home. They'd been friends during his teens and had not laid eyes on each other for 7 years. 2 days later, a shocked Ian was arrested at Manchester Airport, where he worked, in front of his colleagues. Of course he was working in front of his colleagues. She's a really nasty person to do such a thing. He was sacked from his job as a result of the charges, spent 8 months in Bath Hospital on strict curfew. Been accused of pouncing on the woman, 27-year-old, 6 months pregnant, three times. He was actually sat on her and tried to rip her underwear off with his teeth. So where was the evidence? He said he had intercourse with her, but only after she consented. Oh no. You have intercourse to 6 months pregnant mum. Give me. I might have that one. I might have that. I don't know, but it's just. If she's 6 months pregnant, she's visibly pregnant, isn't she? I mean, seriously? Accrington Observer. Judge drops rape charge. This is November the 8th, November 6th. Happy birthday, you bitch. So never mind that. Doing that November 6th, 1992, page 3. Happy birthday, you cunt. Judge drops rape charge. A man accused of raping a pregnant woman in her own home was cleared this week after a judge ruled there was insufficient evidence. Sean Smith, of no fixed address, was charged with raping her where 2 children slept nearby. He was also allegedly forced her into other sexual acts. Smith did not appear in the dock for the trial after saying he would rather remain in the court cells. The prosecution allegedly pushed the woman by the hair on the bed, called her names such as bitch, slag and whore. Yeah, I can think of one woman I'd call that. But at the end of the prosecution case at Preston Crown Court, Defence Counsel Mrs Helen Grindrod, QC, submitted there was wide conflict in the evidence. He said the woman had told the jury she hardly knew Smith. There was absolutely no romantic involvement, yet a friend of hers who gave evidence said she believed there had been a one-night stand on a previous occasion. When he was arrested, Smith claimed he had been having a relationship with the woman for a month. Mrs Grindrod said it was not possible to say if the woman consented to sex or not. Though it was common ground and was active intercourse, at the end of the day it would be possible for the prosecution to show to you the fact she did not consent. I'll probably include this one actually. It would not be safe to go any further with a discussion about whether or not she consented. However, Smith is still on trial, charged with committing a serious sexual offence against a woman. Well, maybe I won't. I'll look it up. This is really weird. These cases are really, how these blokes get into these situations, I don't know. And the women, beggars belief. I won't be adding this to the timeline, but right. This is from San Francisco Chronicle, August the 1st, 1985. I'm using the Newsbank version. A San Bruno woman whose testimony helped convict a man of raping her recanted her story this week, saying he did not force her to have sex. The presiding judge of San Mateo County Superior Court said yesterday he's considering the defence attorney's request for a new trial in light of an affidavit Sulieta Malimali, 23, a Tonga Island native, filed late Tuesday. John Vasey, a real estate broker from Burlingame, I would presume that's Burlingame in California, but I think there may be one or two others, convicted in 1982 of rape and oral copulation. This woman, a mother of 2 young children, told authorities she was assaulted in October 1980 during the first night she came to work as Vasey's live-in maid. In her new affidavit, she says she consented to have sex with her new boss. She says she lied to the court because she was afraid her husband would divorce her. Vasey was out on $50,000 bail and due to start a 6-year prison term in September. Now, she says here that John Vasey did not force me or threaten me in any other way on that night in 1980 or now. She said the prosecutor, Deputy District Attorney Chuck Smith, said there was no physical evidence to support the rape charge. Now, she said she was asleep at his home after the first day on the job when he came into her bedroom and raped her. When he left the room, she testified she gathered up her clothes and fled, calling her brother-in-law who called police. Vasey admitted at trial he had sex with Malimali, but said she consented. Now, what happened was the court didn't believe this retraction, said she was paid off. Vasey did a bunk to Yugoslavia, and he was arrested in 1989, I think it was, and yeah, he was arrested in New York after returning to the United States to visit relatives. Dumb thing to do. In December 1989, and the conviction was upheld. I will finish with some 3 recent cases from the UK, 2 of them from Wales. Rather unusual because they involve the false rape allegations or threats of false rape allegations for purely financial reasons. These are on the timeline. October 7th 2021, Carly Scarf and her accomplice Dean Maynard, that they tried to shake down a motorist. Scarf was a prostitute, or she'd been prostituting herself. I suppose she's a prostitute. She had sex with this bloke before, and they tried to shake him down. There's a case, May 21st 2023. It is Paris Hodge and her 2 male conspirators, co-conspirators. I'll show you a photograph of this woman and her 2 male co-conspirators. She's the one in the middle. In case you're uncertain. And she really is terrible. Finally, there's a woman named Terry Waters. This was another blackmail attempt. This was a woman on her own between November 19th and 24th 2021. There was a photograph of her in the article, which is none too flattering. There's this one, shows her made up, probably about the time she was going to court. And there's this one, which is a mugshot, which is really sad. I mean, look at her face. I mean, it's got drugs written all over it, isn't it? Drugs, abuse, self-abuse, you know. Not sexual self-abuse, but self-abuse. Sad, but bad girls who do bad things need to serve hard time, no matter what the feminists would have us believe. Anyway, that's 6,000 plus. I hope to add some more cases fairly soon. I've got an idea for adding a few more foreign language allegations, because there's quite a lot of stuff on YouTube, and there's translation. Well, I can get the stuff translated. There's a new feature, or I think it's a new feature with YouTube, where you can get translations into different languages. Marvellous service. Dan Bongino calls it communist company. Seriously? YouTube, Google. Anyway, I will put this video together, upload it. Please check out the False Rape Timeline and my other websites, and you might like to follow me on Twitter, because one person is actually doing that, and I could use at least one more.